Even the most motivated teams need a point person, at least one member identified and trained to guide their colleagues through the process over time.
Establishing those relationships and building those relationships is critical at the beginning, and then I think the learning works from there.
We wanted an environment where people would be comfortable bringing forward their ideas, but also their experiments as well, perhaps things that didn't go so well, and be comfortable to be able to talk about what didn't go well.
It's about building community as you would in your classroom. So when you go to meet a group of teachers, you really need to understand them first and understand the culture that they teach in and the student that they teach. And so I think listening to what the teachers' needs are and what the students' needs are is absolutely critical in developing a positive working relationship. If you're going to be working with a group of teachers for an extended period of time, you need to develop that community.
Establishing a focus means identifying an urgent student need and recognizing that this is an indicator of teacher learning need.
I think what we need to do now is we need to talk about what you've seen using your diagnostics, and then we have some choices, right? We can group by common strategy. Maybe there's a strategy that all of us see as a need within our particular school. Maybe we have different strategies that we require to support our students. We could group by common strategy for implementation, or we could do subject specific, and that's entirely up to you.
So where do you want to focus on this cycle? What do you think?
Well, I think just judging from our assessment and our reading assessment that we've done from our last cycle, we need to move into the point of view. We started last fall with detailed summarizing, finding that main idea, went from there, from the explicit into the implicit, inferring, and so now I think we needed to take it the step first. It seems like a natural
It does, and you know what, just knowing where we're going with literacy and sort of expanding into the beyond the reading, making sure that we're incorporating the writing and the media, point of view presents itself nicely in those two areas, so we can incorporate it all.
So I'm there to support them in what they need to move forward, but I'm not going to be there and telling them this is what you need to do. That's really the most important part in a professional learning cycle, is that it has to be based on their needs, and I need to respond to them just as I would to the students in the classroom.
I think sort of stemming from that is the use of effective questioning in order to help to direct the thinking and the learning within the professional learning group. In order to do that, I think the questions have to really be tied into several aspects. They have to promote reflection, which is really important in the professional learning cycle. Sometimes they have to challenge the status quo, and more importantly, I think they have to push people to look at their practice and to see how they can in fact use some different strategies in order to make a gain in student achievement.
How did you set it up, Mark? Because I haven't walked through that yet, and I'd like to know, based on your experience, how did you set it up and prep kids? How did you use the strategy? How often? Things like that.
As a facilitator, you really have to think of yourself as almost shifting between stances. At some point, you're collaborating with the group. Other times, you're consulting, and also you're coaching. And so you have to read where the group is intending to go and what they're currently saying to you with regards to the help that they need. And that helps you to sort of shift through stances as you're reading the audience and trying to decide what's going to best support them in their next steps.
Just as the classroom teacher influences student learning more than any other variable does, the skill of the facilitator is central to the success of the learning team.